What's going on, guys? It's Nick from Robert Consultants. So, real quick, we're going to talk about how many accounts that you need in order for you to be considered a thick file. A lot of times, you'll see a file that probably has like two primaries on there, two small primaries, and you can add AUs to get some type of funding with that, but you're not going to get the big limits. Like you see in a lot of these testimonials. A lot of times, you're going to see smaller limits because you don't have big limits reported on your credit file. AUs are slowly getting phased out. I'm seeing that with the bigger banks, to where the FICO algorithm is not really taking AUs into consideration, right? So the whole purpose of this, we're going to teach you how to build your credit from an underwriter standpoint. That's how I want you to look at it. Look at it as your underwriter. You're going to loan yourself money, right? So essentially, 3 to 4 accounts will kind of take you out of the thin file area after probably about 4 to 6 months. For example, you can add 10 credit cards, right? 10 primary trade lines. You can do the whole new coast modulars, run it up with secure cards or whatever. But you'll still be considered a thin file simply because you don't have the payment history to really back up those trade lines, right? Let's say, for example, you have two secure credit cards. So you have 2 capital ones, right? And let's say you have auto primary, but that auto primary was there, let's say, 3 years. You'll be considered a thick file because you have an auto primary with a long amount of history to it, So that will kind of take you out of that thin file. It wouldn't necessarily be thick in a sense. Thick would probably be around 21, 21 accounts, right? You have 21 accounts reporting. Something like that takes a little bit of time, but you'll be out of that thick file, area, right? You have multiple accounts with good payment history. You have multiple primaries. You have more likely some high limit credit cards, right? For example, I have 30 accounts reporting in my file right now. So I'll be considered a thick file. That's not really a thing in a sense, but that's the opposite of thing. So we're going to go ahead and pretty much say it like that. The more payment history, the more you let, certain primaries age, thicker your file can be, right? If you go to get business credit cards, you want to make sure that your primaries are in order, right? AUs don't really come into play at all from my understanding and from what I've been doing. AUs kind of play a little bit of role if you're doing like alternative financing with, different small lenders. Who more than likely are not going to fine comb to go through your credit report, right? For example, you just want to take the time to really build your file up. Let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. I'm a strong advocate for the modules and the new coast. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Those would need to be the first 2 things you add because you want those primaries reporting, right? You have 10K reporting off of those 2 primaries right there alone. The only problem is New Coast doesn't report to Experian, but you still have 2 credit bureaus to really work from. I recommend the Horizon Gold card, even though it reports to 1 bureau, you can get that monthly fee that bumped down to $6 a month, right? So eventually you can upgrade that to really max out at $3,000. So as you add those primaries, you're slowly building up credit. So when it's time to actually do funding, you get some nice, size limits, right? Because no matter what you're doing, you're building up payment history. Is anybody can say, oh, the banks don't really care about modules and new coast. Well, guess what? It's still reporting, you're still paying on it every month, and it's still a trade line, regardless, right? You can go to a local bank, let's say, for example, like a local little credit union, and they do a manual underwriting, they see $5,000. It don't matter who they see it from. You're handling it. You know what I mean? It's still money. You can still do what you need to do with it, regardless of who is with, right? What else can you do? A rental primary will most definitely help you out in terms of payment history, and also trying to build up that thick file, right? This is also a service that I offer as well. We're going through the testing right now, but if you're trying to build a thicker file, we do offer rental primaries that we can add. If you don't know anybody who owns their house, then we got plugs on that too. So that would be something I would add. If you're paying, let's say, for example, $1,000 in rent, over the course of a year, you pay $12,000. that needs to be reported. If you have Experian boosts, you've been paying bills for a year, phone bill, utility bill, stuff of that nature. Utilize that. You got to be creative whenever you're building your credit. If you're out here, paying all your bills on time, being a responsible adult in a sense, you need to be rewarded. That needs to be reflected, right? That needs to be shown that you can handle, higher size limits. It's really just that simple. It's not none of this foolishness about, oh man, different credit secrets. There's no secrets out here. There's none. You've got to know how these banks work and how to move. That's it. That's different financial, different financial climates change. You need to be able to adapt, right? That's really all it is. That's really all I'm trying to teach you guys. So that was kind of a long, drawn out answer, with a little bit of how to build your file up. Really, other than that, it's not too much to it. You want to make sure you got some nice size primaries on there, so when it's time for funding, you actually get, some type of funding, right? But other than that, guys, please like, share, subscribe, to people who need this information, who's tired of getting to run around, because I'm going to keep dropping these videos with, great content to really help you guys out. But other than that, guys, it's Nick from Rob Consultants. Have a good one.